Welcome. This is one of my favorite days of the year once we get going, to honor some of our brightest and best student athletes that we have here at Lakeland High School. This year we have a ton. We have 24 student athletes that will be participating or competing at the college level. And that's as many as at least in my short tenure as athletic director here we've had. For those of you guys that don't know, my name is Todd Miller. I'm the athletic director. Been here 5 years in this position. I've been here at Lakeland for 21 years as a teacher, coach, some other various positions. So every year I try to figure out how I'm going to start this, because you got to get everyone's attention. And this year I just kind of thought, I don't know that we really need to do that. I think if you take a minute as parents, student athletes, even coaches in the room, high school coaches and the college coaches, and you think, just take a minute to think about what was the one or two things that came to mind when you picked up the phone and you called the coach to say, I'm coming, or you signed that letter. What are some of those things that you felt, as a lot of you guys spent from 3 years old to 18 years old to reach this goal? I think if you do that, it puts a lot of this in perspective. And I don't think really maybe even one word can do that, but it's a special day. I think the first thing we need to do is we need to thank our parents and our siblings. And I say that because how many times did a mom get up to drive me to swimming at 4 in the morning, or a softball tournament 2.5 hours away for an 8 a.m. game, or back to the hotel at 1 in the morning for an 8 o'clock game the next day, or sit in an ice arena, and those smell really good, for 4 hours because it made more sense to drive the hour and a half one way and the other way, or the 9 hours at the Lakeland High School football field during Bronco days when you were in 5th and 6th grade, or cleaning the trash before the games, right? So all those things don't just get done. And sometimes we thank our parents, but what about the siblings who are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, who are running around because can't be left home alone? So student athletes, take a minute, give your families a round of applause, because they're as much a part of this as everyone. The next people I want to address is our school staff here at Lakeland, and I'm not referring to just our coaches or our admin. Start with our custodial staff, who does so many things that you don't even realize to clean facilities and get things ready. The administrator assistants who type emails to get you out of class, deal with the phone calls, people mad you didn't get out early. Mrs. Langmeyer in the back, who runs the athletic office, who helps put this day together and organize the buses and officials and so many other things that you don't know about. To the teachers who work with you on your schedules, things like that, to get you out, work with you on your academics. All the people in the school that make it possible for you to have educational athletics deserve a round of applause. So let's give them a round of applause. Our high school coaches, who we have a ton of them here. I'm not going to read them all off. Some of them will be up here. But our high school coaches that do so much, and we appreciate everything they do. And one of the things I was talking to one of the college coaches about, if you look at that piece of paper with where our kids are going, we have Division I, we have Division II, we have Division III, we have NAIA, we have junior college. Everything's being represented. And what that tells me most of all is that our coaches are doing a really good job finding the best fit for our kids. And it's not a one size fits all. And it doesn't matter if you're going to a Division I, III, junior college, II, NAIA, and I skip orders because I don't think any order should matter. I Googled something last night, and only about 6.5% of high school athletes, or about 1 in 13, 1 in 14, have the opportunity to make a college roster. I think there's something to be said about that, and our coaches are doing a great job finding the right fit, so let's give our coaches a round of applause. Our admin team here at Lakeland, we have very supportive administrators who support high school athletics, educational athletics. Our principal, Dr. Knudsen, is in the back. Come on, wave, Dr. Knudsen. Hold on, let me go through all of them. Our principal of the International Academy is Ryan Parrott. Ryan's back there. Libby Held is back there, our assistant principal, and Nate Wingland, also our other assistant principal. Let's give them a round of applause. Two other people that you guys know, because you see them everywhere, and I couldn't run the athletic department without the three most important people, Ms. Langmeyer, Mr. Head over there taking pictures, and Scott Rolando. The three of them, but Scott or Head and Rolando, I don't know if you know this, they run your Facebook pages, they run your Twitter. I got Mr. Rolando emailing me weekly, what do you need today? What does athletics need here? Where do you need me here? They're as much a part of the athletic program, which is why we wanted them here today. Give them a round of applause. Just a couple of things as you go off into this new experience. One of the things I always like to mention is, you only get one chance to make a first impression. When you leave here, you're kind of the big fish. Today, we're not going to talk about how many all LVC awards and all state, because there's tons of them. But at the end of the day, you're going to start all over. You're going to show up on campus. People are going to look at you and say, you're not taking my spot. So think about that. And how are you going to adjust to that? And my best piece of advice I can give you when I've talked to kids who come back and I talk to them, I say to them, what would you tell these graduating seniors to be freshmen that are going to play a sport? I think the two words I get from them the most are routine and discipline. You have to create a routine. You're going to be told where to be, when to be there. You need to create that routine and know what it's going to be. And then you have to have the discipline. And the discipline to know that your roommate maybe doesn't play a sport and they're going out on Friday night, but you have a workout at 6 a.m. It's just one example. So those two things keep in mind, and that's from your peers that have left here before. So with those things said, we want to take time today to acknowledge these individuals. And so we're going to do so as a team. I have coaches that are going to come up and talk about each of their athletes. We're going to start with our girls basketball program, who has two girls that are signing. Molly Libby, who is going to graduate with 11 letters. I'm going to point out the letters and the letters only because I love pointing out how many multi-sport athletes we have here at Lakeland and how important that is. Molly's got 4 varsity letters in soccer, 4 in basketball, 3 in cross country. And someone told me she may get another one in track this year, so I guess we'll see. Molly's going to Rensselaer Polytech Institute to study biomedical engineering and play basketball. And her teammate is Grace Goodenough. Grace is in the International Academy. She has 4 varsity letters in basketball. She's going to Illinois Institute of Technology to study law and psychology. So if you two could come up along with Coach Head. Yeah, we can give them a round of applause. Just sit right in the middle. That's on. So, one thing I failed to mention: when we're done, all this will be left up here, so you can do pictures of your children signing, family pictures. We're in no hurry, so at the end of the day, you got to do all that. So, real quick, Molly. Tell us a little bit about why Rensselaer Polytech.
So I chose RPI because of the strong academic reputation and the career opportunities outside of basketball while still being able to play collegiate basketball. I want to thank Michelle and Mark Burness for always caring for me inside and outside of basketball and choosing to spend their weekends with a bunch of girls that aren't your kids. And I also want to thank Corey Wheeler for dating Emily so you can hang out with me and the team and for early morning workouts, beating me in 1v1, and only dunking on me once, because that was very scary.
Go ahead, Grace.
I chose Illinois Tech because of their law school. It's one of the best ones in Chicago, and also the location. I've always wanted to live in Chicago, so it was a perfect fit for me. And I just really liked the basketball team. And I'd like to thank first my parents for always supporting me, like you said, driving us different places and getting us there on time. Especially my dad. He was my first coach and my last coach, and it's pretty sad that I have to leave him. And also you, Coach Latham, and Coach Heron and Coach Brown. You really shaped me as a player that I am for the past 4 years, and I'm very grateful for that.
Also, thank you, Latham.
You got it.
Good save.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to take a minute or two to
kids.
talk about these two, but before I do, I want to congratulate all the commitments, all the student athletes up here today. Obviously, to play at the next level, it takes special student athletes to do that. Definitely want to point out over here is Summer paid because they're part of our basketball program and they're going to play softball. So want to give a shout out to them really quick. All right, talking about Grace here. First, Grace has been a 4-year starter for us at the varsity level for our program over the last 4 years. She's played in over, I think we figured out like 81 games over 4 years. She ended up with 523 career points scored, which over the last 4 years she'd be our second leading scorer at just under 7 points a game. She's a 2-time All-LBC Award winner. She's been an LBC Scholar Athlete Award winner 3 times. And at the end of the day, Grace has been instrumental in our program's resurgence. If you follow our program at all, 4 years ago we weren't in the best standing, but these two have really been kind of the leaders in getting us back to where we wanted to be. Grace was a starter on back-to-back district title winning teams over the last 2 years. But beyond the numbers, Grace's impact on our program is much bigger than that. And I've said it to anyone that's listened over the last 4 years that she's been the best leader we've had in our program for the last 4 years. Whether it's vocal, talking to me about things with the team, or being the positive athlete on the court and in the huddles, she's kind of been always the go-to for our program. And those are the types of things you really can't measure. Her positive outlook and her enthusiasm is contagious, and she's been a fantastic teammate to everybody in our program. So Illinois Tech is not only getting a good basketball player in Grace, we're getting an outstanding person as well, and I want to congratulate you, Grace. Molly's also been a 4-year starter, again somewhere around 81 games I believe, as she started over the last 4 years. She has 794 career points, which would make her a top 10 scorer in the history of Lakeland girls basketball. She has a long list of other achievements, and I just want to name a couple. Last 2 years alone, she's been honorable mention Division I All-State by the News, the Free Press, AP. She's been on the BCAN Best Division I team, which would put her around the top 35 or so Division I players according to BCAN. But then she's also done it academically. She's a top 10 student in her class. She's been an LBC Scholar Athlete Award winner in 3 varsity sports, as Mr. Miller talked about. She has 11 varsity letters, so she's doing all of this while being actively involved in a lot of different things as well. Just like Grace, she's been at the forefront of our resurgence over the last 2 years. Again, being part of those back-to-back district champions as our leading scorer and the person that teams often focus on stopping the most. But again, her impact goes much more beyond just numbers. It's really her work ethic and determination. She's an extremely focused, person, especially when she wants to accomplish something. And part of, her 4 years in this journey was, getting to play at the next level. And she's often the one staying after practice, getting extra shots up, and that just sets the tone for the younger kids in our program to have somebody to follow like that. So So again, RPI is not only just, again, a fantastic basketball player, volley. We're going to get someone that's not going to get outworked, and is just an outstanding person on top of that. So congratulations, Molly.
All right, I'm going to bring up Arthur White. Coach Shannon, can you come on up real quick? Because I know Arthur's got to get out of here. He's got a test to take. Arthur is a 4-year varsity letter winner in soccer. And then this year he also played football for us. And he's going to attend Northwood University, play soccer. Go ahead, Northwood. Why Northwood?
I chose Northwood University for the academic and athletic possibilities that come with it, along with the relationships that you build throughout the 4 years. Especially with the program that I'm going into, I'm hoping to get my master's in accounting and get that in 4 years. I would like to thank my coaches, where it's Coach Calhoun for football, Coach Shannon, Coach George for soccer, and all my teammates, either whether it's football or soccer, that are here today.
Congratulations. I had the pleasure of coaching Arthur for 3 of his 4 seasons here. He was our MVP the last 2 years. And there's so much to say about Arthur, but I'll kind of keep it short. From day one, the biggest thing I noticed about him was his respect and his dedication. And wanting to do a little bit of football this past season was hard to let him go for a little bit of the practice, but knowing that Arthur was going to give everything he could to both sports was a great thing to witness, all the while trying to keep high academics and push himself to be the best he could for both teams. Arthur for sure was our backbone of our program. I think his senior year definitely shined as a captain, and also as one that was mentoring a lot of the kids on the field, and also the JV team who also looked up to Arthur. No matter win, lose, or draw, I think he always tried to find something positive in everything, even though we never liked to lose. Arthur always tried to push people on his team to be better the next game, next practice, and to keep going until the season ended. So it was a great pleasure to coach you. I think we had a special bond, and I know Northwood's getting a great kid who's now a young man who's going to give everything he can in his sport. I'm very happy to see that you're going to play soccer. Congratulations and good luck.
Thanks, Arthur. Carissa Welsh is another soccer player. She has earned 3 letters in soccer. She's going to attend Tiffin University to study exercise science. I'm going to bring Carissa up while I have Coach Shannon still up here. Carissa, why did you choose to become a Dragon?
So I chose Tiffin University because I instantly fell in love with the campus. I think that's a big part. Being a student at a university, you want to like where you're going. And then after a lot of consideration with other colleges, academically and athletically, I knew Tiffin was the right choice for me. I would love to thank my family, friends, and coaches, and teammates for always being there and supporting me throughout these 4 years.
Again, another great kid here at Lakeland. I can say that for my kids, especially on my team, that we definitely have a great community in our kids, and Chris is definitely one of them. From day one of meeting Carissa, she worked hard. She wanted that varsity position, and we didn't have our first season, unfortunately, so we worked harder to have a great 2 seasons at the varsity level. We were very blessed to have Carissa as one of our top captains this year, and definitely trying to push her team as well to be the best that they could be. Carissa's one of our strongest on the team. For day one, I always called her my beast. I think Carissa was one that she wanted something, she was going to go out on that field and she was going to get it. She wasn't afraid to get down and dirty, she wasn't afraid to push off the players, and she wasn't afraid to take the shots when she could. So I think Tiffin is very lucky to have you. As an athlete, because I think you're going to give everything you can, but also academically, because I know that your academics is very hard, very important to you as well. So good luck to you.
All right. Real real quick before I forget, one group of people I didn't acknowledge, and I was trying to get through quickly 2 groups so a couple of kids could get to their testing. Thank you to all the college folks that came out today. There's 4 or 5 in the room. There's a few, also AAU, summer program, independent program coaches that are here. Appreciate you taking the time to come out, and that means a lot to our student athletes and their families. So thank you for taking the time to do that. I didn't acknowledge that as I was trying to rush through the introduction, so thank you. I'm going to bring up next Ryan Davis. Where's Ryan? Come on up, Ryan. Ryan is a lacrosse player. He's going to attend Concordia University to study business. He's a 3-year varsity lacrosse player. I've got Coach Pullman coming up. Coach Pullman's a first-year coach for us this year. And Ryan's going to tell us why Concordia and anything else he has to share.
All right, so I chose Concordia University because of the opportunities given to me for education and athletics, along with my future teammates, coaches, and staff who have already accepted me as one of their own. It made me feel at home. And I would also like to have a chance to thank all of the coaches in high school and club sports that helped me shape me as an athlete and a person, and my parents who put up with everything throughout the years and supported me through the last decade of my life playing lacrosse.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me, and Ryan, you're a great kid. It's my first year, so I'm learning all about some of the stuff that Ryan's done the first 3 years. But quick story, when I went through the interview process to get hired here, Ryan was part of that interview process, so that tells you about him already. So what that means, to me, Ryan has a lot of character. He's shown great discipline on the field as far as knowing what, why, and how. I think some of the good things, Ryan, you showed me is all of our events, he's on time. He's always there at 100% attendance. We introduced a weightlifting program in the off-season this year, and he was at every one. Day one, he's also the captain of our team, and he's done a great job leading by example on and off the field for behaviors. So, we've got 4 rules at the lacrosse program. We have mental toughness, we have teamwork, we have self-discipline, and then we also have hard work. And we teach on-field behaviors, off-field behaviors, and Ryan has done a great job leading in all 4 of those categories for our future of our program. He is a 2-time varsity player. Last year he was the All-American or All-Conference player. So I think you have a great future, Ryan. I'm proud to be with you and watch you grow. And I think someday I'm going to come visit you at Concordia. I want to see you play. So congratulations, Ryan.
Yeah, so you may wonder why I was on the interview process. One of the things that we have done here is we bring a student athlete in on most of our interviews when we interview coaches, and we found that we get a lot of good feedback from that. And Ryan was great in the interview process when we hired Coach Pullman. So next, I'm going to bring up our 2 football players. If you 2 could start heading on up. Coach Calhoun in the back. We've got Derek Johnson. Derek's leading the charge. Derek has 3 letters in football. They're both going to Kalamazoo College, so I have to say that twice. Derek's going to study health sciences. And then we have, Derek's going to study business. Dylan's going to be studying health sciences. Dylan has 4 letters in football on running track this year. And Dylan, why don't you go ahead and start? You have the microphone. Tell us why Kalamazoo College.
So I chose Kalamazoo College because of the academic opportunities and the opportunity to continue playing the sport I've been playing since 4th grade. And I'd like to thank both my parents for helping me reach this position, whether it's driving me to practice or allowing me to do things to improve myself. And I'd like to thank all my coaches, especially Coach Calhoun, who's been coaching me since the 4th grade, and he's helped me become the athlete I am today and helped me on and off the field.
So I chose Kalamazoo College for the same reason as Dylan. The academics are amazing there, and the coaching staff is very friendly and very great. And the location of Kalamazoo also very much appealed to me, just dead center of Kalamazoo. And I'd like to thank my parents for making this all possible for me, always driving me to football, and my dad especially for getting me into football and really pushing that. And I'd also like to thank all my coaches, but especially Coach Calito and Coach Calhoun for making me into the best athlete that I can become.
Nice job, fellas. Okay, first thing I'd like to do is reiterate everything that A.D. Miller said to everybody here. It's a great day. It's a proud day. Congratulations to everybody. Moms and dads, parents, guardians, all the hard work that you do. Admin, everybody that Mr. Miller talked about. I'd just like to the second power. Talking about these two is really easy. I don't even need notes. There's not a whole lot negative that can be said about either of these two, but when you start to look at the positive, I could be out here for 2 hours. Both of them, the epitome of what we want or what we look for, not out of a football player, but out of a young man who's going to grow and do positive things for his society. Both of these two are lights out, over and above. So I would like to say, Gacky family, Johnson family, congratulations and thank you. Thank you. They were a pleasure to deal with. Now to talk about them individually, let's start with DJ. This year we came to DJ about week 2 and had a conversation about the need for him to have to play a different spot. The eyes rolled back in the head a little bit when I said the old line was a possibility. He looked at me like I maybe bumped my head, but took it, the normal comment, the yes coach, the same thing that we got from every guy. And he took his time to get better at that side of the ball. We didn't use him much. We didn't need to, thank goodness, because he was able to focus at his outside linebacker spot, which he played for us. 2-year starter, multiple interceptions, 86 tackles this year alone. Off the charts when you look at the stats. To me, those are the easy things. In the coach's office, I call them the ESPN stats, because those are easy. The other pieces to that puzzle, DJ has those. The yes coach, the take care of the guy in the mirror, control what you can control, react to what you can't. DJ's one of those guys. The other piece to that puzzle, DJ's going to Kalamazoo College. DJ's a student of the game, absolutely, but he's a student of life, and he's going to do well. Obviously, his academics are already there. So, DJ, love you, buddy.
Love you, Coach.
Gacky, known Dylan for a long time, probably about 4th or 5th grade. Much like everybody else, yes coach, no coach. Always 100%. When he was not at practice for whatever the reason, I was getting texts, what do I need to work out, what should I look at on film? He's a student of the game. 3-year varsity player, although he broke his hand at Western in the first quarter his sophomore year. Over 100 tackles, LVC, all conference. There's nothing you can say that hasn't been said or should not be said about Dylan. Mom and Dad, thank you. You guys worked really hard for that. He's just a pleasure to be around. He's going to do great things. And love you both.
Love you, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
All right, one individual that couldn't be here today because she's on the west side of the state, west side of the country. But I want to acknowledge Savannah Miller. Savannah is a gymnast who will be going to Oregon State University to study psychology. And she said she wanted to thank her parents for always being involved and pushing her to do her very best. She wouldn't be here where she is without them today, along with her sister as well. Savannah is competing nationally. Well, actually, she's injured, but she was surprised on Friday with a ticket from all her teammates to go out there with them, and so she went over the weekend. So let's give Savannah Miller a round of applause. Elise McCall, Elise, you want to come on up? Elise is going to be going to the University of Buffalo. And she's going to be studying biomedical sciences. And Elise's club coach is Adam Cooper. He's here as well. Elise swam 1 year at Lakeland, and then she swims with the Ole group. She has multiple junior national qualifying times, as well as Michigan State Championship top 8 finishes, NCSA age group top 8 finishes in the mile, and she is going to University of Buffalo to be a bowl. So, Elise, how'd you end up at Buffalo?
I chose the University at Buffalo mainly because of the team atmosphere. The girls on the team push each other so hard at practice every day to strive and reach their goals, and also the coaches coach their team like family and structure workouts that are perfect for me. And also it's a great school for what I want to study and go into the medical field. And then I'd like to thank my parents and my coach for being here today and supporting me throughout what I've done in my swim career all these years and get me to where I am today. So thank you.
I do appreciate Lakeland having me here today. Athletic Director Todd Miller, appreciate the opportunity to speak about Elise, and good luck to all of the Lakeland athletes that will be continuing in college. Obviously, some of the accomplishments Todd mentioned, her versatility, she's 100, 200, 500 freestyler, 200, 400 IM, 100 and 200 breaststroke are all 18 under junior nationally recognized times for Elise. And I think what puts her in the position to be so successful is being grounded. She's got other things in life that are important for her. Academics stands above. We always work around that when necessary, but she drives a good 40 miles to practice every day at Fenton High School. She's extremely committed to what she believes in. And goals, setting realistic goals is probably what stands out, and enjoying the process that goes behind it. All of the coaches know that process is probably one of my most important things for athletes to buy into. And with all that being said, she's pretty much lined up with where she wants to be in life, I think, with her school, her faith, and of course her academics and athletics. So academically and athletically, I believe Elise got some help to go to the University of Buffalo. We are extremely excited for her, and we wish her the best of luck. And once again, thanks again for allowing me the opportunity to be here. All right, we're going to bring up our softball duo next. We have Summer Ambler and Peyton Grange. And Summer and Peyton will both be attending Spring Arbor University. Both of these individuals have 8 varsity letters, 4 in softball, 4 in basketball. I think Coach Leatham talked about the resurgence of our basketball program, and they were definitely a key component of that, continuing our tradition in the softball program. They'll both be studying biology, and I think Coach Cheryl's hiding around the corner there. You can come on up, and Summer, why don't you go ahead and tell us why Spring Arbor?
All right. I chose Spring Arbor because of the amazing people and the campus and the awesome academic opportunities that Spring Arbor holds. I'd like to thank first off my parents for always supporting me and loving me no matter what I do. My younger sister Paige, who has always been my biggest role model throughout my entire life. Deb for giving us this great opportunity to play at the next level together, which should be really fun. And lastly, all my friends who showed up here unexpectedly, but I really appreciate you guys coming out on this big day.
All right, I would also like to thank Deb and all my friends, the Outlaw 18U team and the Lakeland softball team, as well as my family for getting me where I am today. And I chose Spring Arbor because of all the academic and athletic opportunities that they have there. I love the campus and the softball team there.
So when I talk about these two, I'm going to do it together because if I did it any other way, it'd be weird. Right? So I'm going to start off by saying congratulations to Paul and Nick, or Tony Grange. Not only are they great family members, but also assistant coach, Chad Nick Ambler. Again, congratulations and thank you. Thanks Coach Depp for coming out. And congratulations to the rest of the Lakeland athletes. I've known most of you since I've been here for my 10-year tenure, so again, congratulations. And I say that I'm going to talk about them both because as I go through this, you're going to figure it out. Whether it's their grade point, whether they're going to school, it's almost identical. They're both 4.3 grade GPA. They're both studying biology. They're both going to Spring Arbor. They're both middle infielders. They're both pitchers. They bat 3-4 in the lineup. And imagine this, they're best friends, right? It's kind of crazy how that goes. So when I sit back and the same thing as I list attributes for each of these athletes, they always come back the same, right? And there's things like that, you know, competitiveness, athleticism. They're kind, caring, smart, great teammates. Beautiful young ladies inside and out. And if I had to wrap it up with one word, it'd be exemplary. And by definition, exemplary means serving as a desirable role model, representing the best of its kind. That's why when these two leave Lakeland, they'll be deeply missed, and I look forward to being their greatest fan in their next chapter in life. Congratulations.
All right, we're going to bring our cross-country runners up next, along with also Wesley, who's doing cross-country and track, right? Okay, come on up. No, Jackson, you're not running cross-country. So we've got Isaac Tiernan. Isaac's going to U of M Dearborn to study mechanical engineering. Isaac has six varsity letters, 2 in track, 2 in cross-country, and 2 in basketball. We've got Wesley Hollowell. He's got 2 varsity letters, but Wesley came back to us from overseas, correct? So you're lucky to get him back. And, he's got 1 in cross-country and 1 in track. And then we've got Ty Nagy. Wesley's going to Oakland University to study engineering. And we've got Ty Nagy. Ty's going to Wayne State University. He's got 4 letters in cross-country and 2 in track, so 6 total. He's going to study exercise science.
He's going to exercise.
And
He's going to exercise
Tiernan,
science.
you got the microphone first.
Let's go, Tiernan.
So I chose University of Michigan Dearborn because of the beautiful campus there, the great engineering program, and also their cross-country program. I'd like to thank my parents who have sacrificed everything for me to be here today and have sacrificed everything so that I could become the person I am today. I would also shout out Joe Verellen for being a great mentor and a great coach the last 4 years, and I've gone this far in my cross-country career thanks to him, so I thank him for that.
That was good.
So I chose Oakland. I was lucky enough to already have a few credits there, and it kind of made my decision really easily with my parents also going there. I got to choose Oakland because of their amazing cross and track programs, as well as really good engineering program. I'd also like to thank Mr. Verellen, Coach Verellen, and my teammates for acclimating me into the program really easily. Thank you so much.
So I chose Wayne State because I really fell in love with it when I went on my visit, and I really fell in love with the team environment there. I'd like to thank my dad, who's sitting over there on the left, for always pushing me to be the best I can. I would like to give a special thanks to my mom, who's not here because she's working in Texas right now, but that really just shows you that she has that work ethic. She's the hardest working woman I know, and that's a big thanks to her for that. And then, of course, my coach, Coach Verellen, for making me fall in love with the sport. So thank you so much.
So I've been coaching here for a while now, and every year I've got the privilege and honor of working with what I consider some of the best athletes Lakeland has to offer through both cross-country and track and field. These guys have a lot of the major qualities that you have to be successful in our sport. They're all determined, dedicated, and will give anything not just for their team, school, but for their teammates and the program. So I can't thank them enough for all the time and energy and dedication that they've given to our program. So thank you guys so much for that. Now, these guys are going on to the next level. And that there alone says a lot about who they've grown to be. They are competitors, and they enjoy the process that comes along with running. And that is what allowed them to fall in love with our sport and allows them to continue on to the next level. Congratulations, guys.
I'm going to keep Coach Burrell up. As he stated, one of the things he does also coaches track and field. And we have Jackson Campbell, who's going to be jumping really high. Jackson's going to go to Northwood University to study sports management. Jackson has, is it 6 or 7 letters? What you get in football? 2 or 3 in football?
3.
So he's got 7 letters, 4 in track and field and 3 in football. And so Jackson, Northwood University, why that choice?
Well, I liked the community there and the teammates. I already know some of them, so it was pretty cool to know them. And I liked the environment because I like outdoorsiness, and it was all outdoorsy, so I like that stuff. I would love to thank my parents and my friends and my teammates and my coaches and my sister because they all helped me become the athlete that I am today. Thank you.
So Jackson, for me, is like the other side of the spectrum when it comes to athletes I have to coach. Not that he's not dedicated, not that he's not for the team, but he's kind of that other type of athlete. I like to give the analogy of, it's the final seconds of the 4th quarter. Who are you going to get the ball to? Who wants to take the type of shot? And Jackson's that guy that wants to take the shot. If you ever come to our event and you watch him high jump, the energy that he brings to it is amazing and astounding. And that's one of the things that's going to make him be more successful at the next level as well, is he wants to take that shot. He wants to do better. He'll analyze the death out of what he's done to get to where he's at and to figure out what he has to do to do better. So I have full confidence in Jackson's ability to continue on to this next level and continue to do great things.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to bring up our baseball guys next. So if you guys can start heading up to the stage. So we have 7 of our baseball players that are going on to compete at the next level. Coach Farquhar is over here as well. We've got Mason Brown. Mason has 4 varsity letters, 2 football, 2 baseball. He will be attending Lawrence Tech University, studying mechanical engineering. Cade Dury has 4 varsity letters in baseball. He's going to join Jackson at Northwood and study business. With Tate Farquhar, he's got 8 varsity letters, 4 in football, 4 in baseball. He's attending Michigan State University to study kinesiology. Matt Hanneman, who has 2 in football, and Matt, do you have 2 or 3 in baseball?
3.
3 in baseball. So 5 total varsity letters. He'll be going to Lansing Community College to look into entrepreneurship and business. Nolan Hall, who's lettered 2 years in baseball, he's going to the University of Northwestern Ohio to study sports management. And then Andrew Platt. Andrew's got 6 letters, 3 in basketball, 3 in baseball. He'll be going to Henry Ford Community College. He's going to study either automotive and criminal justice. And then lastly, with Jake Held. Jake has 2 letters in baseball. He's going to Lansing Community College, and he's undecided on what he's going to study. Nolan, we're going to start with you. I read off a lot of names, so as you pass the mic, reread your name and tell us why you chose Northwestern.
That's amazing. There's a few good reasons I chose University of Northwestern Ohio. A couple of those are they have a very good baseball program. In something I'm interested in. And also a very good sports management program. I think they send people to the Super Bowl, so I'm excited for that. They also have an amazing field. It's red, and they have a nice practice facility to help me get better each day. There's a few people I'd like to thank. My parents, of course. They've helped me throughout my life, learning life lessons and just getting to know the game. It's awesome having my dad there. And there's another person in the crowd, Drew Hall, my brother. He's helped me throughout life in everything, every aspect. He's my biggest competitor and my biggest role model.
All right, so I'm Caden Duryea, and I'm going to Northwood University. The reason I chose Northwood is because of the great business programs that will set me up for success when my playing days are done. They also have a great baseball program that will allow me to continue playing the sport I love at a very high level while getting a good education. And first off, I'd like to thank my parents for all their efforts they have made while allowing me to play travel baseball and other sports while growing up. And I'd also like to thank Coach Farquhar. Coach Farquhar has been my coach since I was 8 years old, and he's almost become a second father to me. He's helped develop me into a player that I am today and pushed me to reach my goals.
Hi, I'm Matt Hanneman. The reason I chose Lansing Community College was because they have a really good educational programs there that I think can prepare me for the future. Also, the baseball program is one of the best programs in JUCO, and I think that their player development programs can really get me to where I need to be to go better off for the future in baseball. Also, I would like to thank my parents. Without you, none of this would be possible. All the countless hours you have helped me, like traveling for baseball and also allowing me to go to the facilities late at night. I would also like to thank all my coaches that have helped me along the way. They have helped me become a better baseball player and even a better person.
Hi, I'm Jake Hild. I'm going to Lansing Community College, and the reason why I chose Lansing Community College was I felt it was like a really good fit for me academically. I also liked their ideas for player development and wanting each player to get better each and every day. I'd also like to thank my parents for all the money and dedication, or time, money, and dedication that they've put into this process, and my coaches for teaching me all I know in baseball and in life. And thank you.
I'm Mason Brown, and I have chosen to continue my academic and athletic career at Lawrence Lake University because of the great academic and athletic opportunities, as well as the outstanding coaching staff their baseball program has to offer. I'd first like to thank my mom and sister for being my biggest supporters, as well as Coach Farquhar, who's been my coach since 8U and has been a really good mentor on the field and off the field. And most of all, I'd like to thank Coach Stan Eldridge for giving me the opportunity to play baseball at the next level.
My name is Tate Farquhar. I will be attending Michigan State University, and I chose Michigan State because I really like the campus, and I also really like the coaches. But I mostly went there to get another opportunity to play baseball with my brother, which I'm really looking forward to. I would like to give a quick thank you to my parents and my sister back there for sacrificing so much and just dealing with it all. So thank you.
My name is Andrew Platt. I'm going to Henry Ford College, and first off, thank you to my parents, my mom, dad, Coach Farquhar. He's been a really great coach for me. He's helped me out with a lot of things, becoming a shortstop and now turning into an outfielder because that's what I'm going to play at Henry Ford. I want to play at Henry Ford because I have a starting position there in the outfield, and it's really the best fit for me. Thank you.
Where do we look? Where are we supposed to be looking? I don't know. Where are you looking? I'm just looking at it right now. I mean, guys, I went off script.
All right, very good, thank you. First of all, congratulations to all student athletes. What a tremendous accomplishment, not just for yourselves, but like Mr. Miller said, it's truly a family accomplishment. So make sure you take time to, all of you, thank your parents. Before we get into baseball, guys, just want to talk to all the student athletes in the room really quickly. You get into college athletics and it's a dogfight. And playing time becomes a dogfight, and schoolwork, and it can be a grind. I want all you guys to take the lessons you've learned these last 4 years and apply them to when times get tough. Because let's be honest, the class of 2022 has been through a lot. Whether it's having their sophomore year taken away from them in the spring, or the in and out of school in 2021, and even coming back to school this year, things just haven't been normal. This group's been able to push through. They've been able to keep going. That's what needs to happen when you move on and times get tough. Remind yourself of what you've been through to get to where you are now, and you can get through pretty much anything. Truly a celebration of the accomplishments of these individuals, but I think even more so, I think it needs to be recognized that what this is today and all these accomplishments is a byproduct of the Lakeland administration truly adopting the philosophy that we are a school that prides itself in academics, arts, and athletics. I don't know what it's like across the district. It's not my business, but I know here the AAA is not just lip service, and I'm very, very proud and very pleased to work at a school where they serve all of their students and athletes equally. Baseball right now is kind of in a unique spot. Right now, it's more difficult than ever to find a place on a college roster. That's due to a few things. When the COVID year hit, every college athlete in baseball got their year of eligibility back. Then, in the junior college route, last year they were given their year of eligibility back again. So, what our baseball players right now, they're competing for roster spots against people that graduated in 2016 and 2017. And you couple that with the fact that the Major League Baseball draft has been cut in half, there's a lot of players back. It's very, very difficult to find your way onto a college baseball roster in this day and age. So for that alone, these guys should be congratulated. I could go on for a while about all of these guys, but we're in a unique situation of having more work to be done. We're about halfway through our schedule for the spring, and whatever I was to say right now, I think it's going to be added to come June. But nevertheless, let me talk just a little bit about each one of these guys because they deserve it. I'm going to couple Jake Held and Nolan Holt to start with because I think here's a great lesson, and I think I want this lesson to be passed on to whomever you talk to. You see, Jake Held and Nolan Hall, when they were 9th graders in our program, they played on the 9th grade baseball team because that's where they fit the best and that's where they were going to develop the best. And the lesson that we learned is that it wasn't a punishment, they didn't look at it as something that they shouldn't be doing or something beneath them. They took advantage of the opportunity, and they're sitting at the same table today as the guys that played JV and varsity baseball their 9th grade year. Very, very proud of them for that. Next one, Matthew Hanneman. I've had an opportunity to coach Matthew in a variety of sports for a lot of years. Sometimes I still look at him as a kid who's in the 4th and 5th grade. And it's just been wonderful watching Matthew grow all these years. And I think the best aspect that I appreciate about Matthew right now is the fact that he's allowing himself to be coached very, very hard this spring. He's not taking the attitude that I've arrived, I've made it. We're coaching Matthew hard this spring. He's taking it well, and I appreciate that always. Andrew Platt. So Andrew was our starting shortstop last year. We had a discussion about a week ago, the way our puzzle pieces need to fit together better. For us to be a better baseball team, we need to move some guys around. And I talked to Andrew, and Andrew said, Coach, I'll do whatever is best for the team. There's a guy who wants to play college baseball. He's got 3 weeks left in his high school career, and he's willing to change positions for the betterment of his baseball team. Good for him, and good for you, Andrew. Katie Duryea and Mason Brown. In a few weeks, it's probably going to get pretty emotional talking about those guys. As I've had an opportunity to coach them since they've been 8 years old, and it's been my pleasure and my privilege. And while you're not going to be privy to all those emotions right now, there's going to be a lot to be said at our banquet. But just know that for both of you guys, I look at both of you as extensions of my family, and my third and fourth sons, and that'll never change. And then last but not least, Tate Farquhar. Tate and I aren't wearing matching shirts by accident. I've had the privilege of coaching Tate for many, many years, at home and on the field. Thank God that Tate got his mother's looks and his mother's athleticism, because if it wasn't for that, he wouldn't be very far, and we would be sitting here at this table. I'm very proud of Tate for a variety of reasons. First and foremost, I think because he's a good person, he looks to serve others, and that's going to continue at the college level. Thanks very much for taking the time to listen about our baseball players. If you want to keep watching, we're at home on Tuesday, the doubleheader. We have a lot of important baseball games coming up, and our job is not done. Thank you.
And last but definitely not least, our volleyball program. We've got two of our volleyball girls, Julia Fletcher-John is going to Charleston Southern University to study chemical engineering. And we've got Amelia McCombs, who's going to go to Adrian College. She's undecided. Coach Pulse couldn't be here, but we have our JV coach, Coach Ferguson, who's going to shed some light on the fantastic career of these two. Go ahead, Julia, first. You're going pretty far from home. So go ahead and tell us why Charleston Southern and anything else.
I chose, is this on?
Playing baseball.
Hello?
Hold on, give me a second. You're good.
Hello? Oh, sorry. I chose CSU because it just checked off a lot of boxes on my list, and I really like volleyball. It's a place where I can get challenged both in the classroom and on the court. And I'd like to thank my family. They make a ton of sacrifices for me. They've traveled across the country like every weekend, so thank you. I'd like to thank my coaches that have helped me along the way. And of course, Lakeland volleyball team over there. Saying that they're my biggest supporters is like an understatement, so thank you.
Hi, I'm Amelia, and I chose Adrian College because it's the college that made me feel most comfortable, and I love the environment that it gave me. And also, I want to thank my mom and dad for being there for me throughout this journey and pushing me to be the best that I can. I also want to thank my coaches for giving me the opportunity to grow and to push me to become a better person and a player overall.
Ms. Ferguson. Even though I didn't have the honor to be your head coach, I did have the pleasure to be part of both your athletic and academic journeys. I'm here on behalf of head coach Megan Pulse, who wishes she could be here today. You've been part of your success the last 2 seasons, getting to know each other, starting tryouts outside, and it's gone. In those 2 years, you guys were both all-conference athletes, LBC champions, and undefeated in the conference your senior year. And also in those 2 years, we were back-to-back district champions. I think the biggest takeaway for me, especially you two, after winning, especially this last season, I read the articles and all your guys' takeaway is, yeah, great time, but we are a family. We work together, we love each other, we work for each other, and I think you two are the heart and soul of that, and you two have set such a high standard to all those that are following in the footsteps. First, I want to talk about Julia Libero Diaz, outside for your varsity player. Julia in the Lakeland program was one of a kind. She was the upperclassman that the younger ones aspired to play like and loved watching her versatility. Julia has been a wonderful teammate and a huge contributing key factor to the Eagles' success. Julia's whole heart is in the game of volleyball, and her volleyball knowledge is unmatched. Julia was a balanced athlete. You can always count on her for a good laugh and depend on her to find the open spots on the court. She has amazing ball placement and court reading skills. While I never got to be your head coach, it was always great to watch from the sideline. My favorite, most notable moments were our back-to-back district championships and Julia earning the match-winning points, post the kills, and both, especially being triple blocked for junior year in last season especially was a storybook with all of our team growth and achievements, and Julia held the pen for that story. Julia is a bamboo athlete, and what I mean by that is that she is strong in build, yet she is flexible. She bends under pressure but never breaks, and she is capable of adapting to any circumstance. Coach Pulse, myself, Coach English, and everyone in the volleyball program is so proud of her accomplishments and look forward to seeing her impact in her next chapter at Charleston Southern.
Thank you.
Mia, two-year varsity player, libero, DS, setter, whatever we can put you in, you rock it. Mia is one of the most coachable and hardest athletes we have had in our program. Throughout the season, she moved to multiple different positions, and each position she persevered and never did less than her all on perfecting each one. Mia is mentally tough, which made it easy for her to set and reach her goals. Mia was always a team player, pushing herself as hard as she pushed her teammates. Mia was not only a great team player, but she also was a role model to all those in the program, both on the court and in the classroom, and showed true leadership skills that helped her achieve her goals. Mia's volleyball journey and mastering both front row and back row court positions inspires the volleyball dream in the lives of the younger athletes, especially her younger sister. Mia has so much heart and love for the game, and we are so proud she will continue her love and passion at the next level. Your time at Lakeland is coming to an end, but this is just a small chapter in your story, and we are also excited for your upcoming journey in Adrian College. Congrats to you both.
Thank you. That was so nice. Oh, are we leaving?
I'm all right. I'll pass. Thank you, though.
Okay, that wraps up our individuals. I'm going to wrap this up here, and I know before school gets out, we want to get pictures and time for that, but I want to finish up talking about just, and Coach Farquhar kind of segued into it. Over the next 4 or 5 years, it's going to get hard at times, and when it gets hard, just take a deep breath and think about where you came from, where it started. You're always welcome back here. So maybe you need to go out or come back and get a lift in with Coach Calhoun. Maybe you need to come back and run the cross-country course, or you need to get into the field house and take some balls to some shots, whatever it is. You guys are always a part of this program. We have a saying here, and I hear Dr. Newton say it a lot, once an eagle and always an eagle, and that's true. And so when it starts to get hard and you got time to come back, just don't forget, always remember kind of where it started. I know it started for most of you when you were 8, 9, 10 years old. Then you got here as a freshman and started to mean a little bit more. And then, you know, that day you told Coach, yes, I'm coming to Spring Arbor. Yes, I'm coming to Lawrence Tech. Yes, I'm coming to wherever it was. Because sometimes that keeps you grounded and gets you right back on track. I can't say enough about our student athletes that are in here. One thing I will say is, as every one of you are up here, I've never had to deal with any one of these student athletes in my office as a discipline issue. I know we kind of chuckle at that, but that's not a joke. Like, that's a big deal. Academically, I've never had to deal with any of them. So I thank them for that because they're strong representatives for our program. They're role models for our younger elementary and middle school student athletes to look up to. And I can't express enough how grateful I am as the athletic director for everything you've brought to Lakeland High School the last 4 years, and I'll enjoy following you the rest of the way. Please don't ever hesitate to send back some of your accomplishments. We love posting, Coach Hett loves posting updates on our graduated seniors, or I'm sorry, graduated student athletes and other graduates anytime you can. So parents, coaches of college, administration, everyone that came out today, thank you. Student athletes, most importantly, thank you. Go on, keep being great people, and be even better athletes. Congratulations.